What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me as always is the little brother Jace. Bro Shot, how are you tonight?
Doing well tonight.
Awesome. So, San Diego Comic Con was this past weekend, and I was really focused and excited to talk and do all kinds of videos for Lyles Figure Files about Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified series, a ton of stuff. And then, of course, I forgot Saturday we're going to reveal some news from Marvel Studios, and boom, 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 they hit with some fireworks. And this was great timing for them because Deadpool and Wolverine was out there obliterating box office records. So, of course, that brings me to the question of, are you now excited about Marvel Studios in the future? We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's say what's up to everybody here in the chat. What's up, James Green? Hey, movie crew. What's up, Jeffrey, Jason, Chief? I hope Chief is coming. I haven't heard from him yet, but I was late getting everything off to the fellas because, seemingly every other week we're getting hit with thunderstorms on Wednesdays. So my power is out for a bit and was like, I think the fan's not working right now. And because all the power is gone. So it was like, uh-oh. But fortunately, it came back on, so I didn't have to do it. We're gonna shoot later. We're gonna have this live later. So that's why he's not here right now. Mark A. Hey, you guys! On time this week for once. Welcome, Mark A.
What's going on?
David Thanos is here. What's up, guys? Came back from my cruise. Luckily, it was a Disney cruise, and they were showing Deadpool and Wolverine. Might have seen it 3 times. Nice.
That'd be cool.
They would do new stuff like that on a cruise.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're spending that much money. They're like, hey, it's a new movie. So
That's a whole other reason to go.
I know.
Badgerwolf Prime. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Ladies, gentlemen. Yo, back from the West Coast. He's here again. Blake Tarpley. Yo.
Welcome back.
Jeff J's Chief. Hey, Movie Files fan. Well, since you welcomed him, Blake, let's bring him up to the stage. Chief, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Cool.
The only reason why I'm on here is Blake's back.
Is that it?
I was like, yo, I'm not coming on here no more.
There's no more.
Straight.
Yeah, but I saw he was back. I'm like, I'm in there again. I'm in there. So, thanks for returning me, Blake.
Wow. Snake guys. Howdy, partners.
Hey, guys.
And Jalen Parks here. Here we go.
Badger Wolf Prime. I love it.
Cool name.
Blizzy back in the hizzy.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, bro.
All right, well, Chief, Jason and I had seen Deadpool and Wolverine by the time we did the show. You went back, or not went back. You actually went to see it early morning. You hit that 9 a.m. screening as promised, and you said, hey, I saw the movie. So without spoilers, because we'll hold off for a little bit longer, one more week, and then the spoilers, I don't care if everybody else is. I like to respect people's time, especially during the summer. So we'll give them one more week. If you want to know what's going on, you can go everywhere else to find the spoilers. You don't even have to look that hard. But Chief, what did you think of Deadpool and Wolverine?
I enjoyed it very much.
Oh man, that wasn't even dang decent, Jace.
That's the next step up.
You know what I mean? So very entertaining. I didn't have a problem with it. Now I know some people that didn't enjoy it. I'm not sure. I think a lot of people didn't get the goodies that the movie offered. Even though I didn't catch all of them, I caught a lot of them, which made the movie even more exciting because it made it funnier. But I did enjoy it. So yeah, when we're able to speak on it, it'll be a good talk, a good conversation.
Let's see here. Was the stuff, all the stuff you liked, just spoiler things?
No, not. I mean, the fourth wall, the humor. Can't say it didn't have action. Um, so I mean, Deadpool has a formula, and that formula works for it. And it was definitely a movie worth seeing, and the formula once again worked for the movie. And like I said, all the little extra tidbits you get, made it a good movie. So I enjoyed myself. I laughed.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. I didn't.
Oh.
That was what movie was that? The with Rocket. I cried on that movie. It was a sad movie.
Guardians 3.
Yeah, man, it was sad, man. But I did enjoy this movie. So if you're a fan of Deadpool, you like the work of the other two, go see this one. And even more so, now it's a Marvel situation, so which makes it even better. All right. And it gives Marvel a good movie.
Listen, the funny thing is, it's a good Fox into the Fox universe, and it's also Marvel superhero fatigue isn't a thing. It's people want to go see good movies. Like Deadpool and Wolverine had as soon as it was announced. I mean, I think it was the Super Bowl when you saw Hugh Jackman back. It was like, ticket sales, they were through the roof. So everybody was like, "Oh, okay, you're going to give us both of that." I mean, a good Fox product and a good Disney product that we've all been missing. Now, I got a question for you guys.
What's up, 80s kid?
What's going on? Do you think it helps to have watched all of the earlier Fox X Marvel movies before you go see this one?
I feel like you would have already watched those because they came out during the infancy of the comic book movie reign, where it was, oh cool, we're getting X-Men, we're getting Daredevil, we're getting Fantastic Four, we're getting all these other kind of
shite.
Huh?
I said before you knew the movies were shite.
Right. It was kind of like we're so desperate for comic book movies. It was like, cool. What are they gonna do? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, so you went through and you pretty much watched what you needed to see, and then of course you got the sense that the movies was garbage, and you stopped watching at some point, like I did. And so, but you should know things that have come from earlier movies. Yeah. So before they got crappy, which they did.
Yeah, like it's funny because I always say that there was like a certain level of comic book movie quality that could go pretty good to darn decent, as Chief would say, to, boy, y'all are just throwing this out because us comic book fans are so desperate for anything. We'll at least watch it just to verify that it was as bad as the trailers made it look. And I think what really changed everything for the genre was Christopher Nolan going, well, why don't we just make these good movies? Like just good movies, not good for a comic book movie, but a good movie with Batman Begins. And then Jon Favreau was like, yeah, bet I'm going to do that, but I'm really going to embrace the comic book nature with Iron Man. And that 1-2 punch, I think really allowed comic book movies to get really great and people to get excited about them. And yeah, there were some bad movies afterwards. Hello, Green Lantern. But that kind of marked the change, huh?
Chief, you just shot at him for no reason.
Right. What are you doing?
We're talking about Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool.
You could have went with the Deadpool, the original Deadpool or something. The one that he fought in the Wolverine movie or something. You didn't have to take a shot at Green.
Technically speaking, the problem, if Green Lantern had come out before those two movies, it would have been considered a better movie.
Yeah, Green Lantern was never the problem. Just so you know. Just so you know. What?
Oh, okay. He's talking about the new one, yeah.
Yeah, that joint is garbage.
$1.5 billion is my box office prediction.
I
Billion.
mean, it's already at what?
It's halfway.
400?
Well, by Sunday, it was halfway there. So,
Yeah, I'm thinking
or just a little bit over. Let me see here.
Yeah, I think the word of mouth will get people like who had a little bit of actual fatigue. They're like, nah, come on, this is fun.
I never believed that comic book fatigue thing. I think people were just tired of bad movies. Worldwide, it's at 545. Let's say 546 million in 5 days. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe at 1.5 is shy of what it's gonna hit.
Yeah,
which means there'll be a Deadpool 4.
I couldn't imagine they won't. I mean, I think, Kevin Feige was, all right, we're going to let you do your thing, Ryan and Sean Levy. And you guys, I'm giving you full carte blanche to do this movie the way you want. And then coming through with the 9th highest grossing opening for any comic book film, or maybe all time. I think it's all time. And then the highest grossing debuting R-rated film ever. And initially it was 205 million. And then they checked the numbers. It was like, oh, actually it was 211. That was crazy.
And also the other thing is, this is a movie that doesn't have the boost of 3D to get those extra dollars as well. So
James says, I concur with Chief. And to Jason's question, I don't think you need to have seen all the others, but it helps. You'll miss a lot of jokes and references if not.
Yeah.
And I think that's like Deadpool and Wolverine is not a movie that you could go in not having watched the majority of the X-Men films, the previous Deadpool films, the Wolverine films, and go in cold like, oh, I heard this is a good movie. Let me watch it. No, this is absolutely not that kind of film. It's not a come in cold. Oh, I heard this is good.
Yeah.
See, it's kind of like Spider-Man No Way Home, where, yeah, you could probably like it, but you're not going to really enjoy it nearly as much if you hadn't watched other Spider-Man films. It's just, sure, I'm sure there would be some entertainment value, but you'd miss little things like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Yes, I saved her this time. It's not going to hit. Let's see here. Where's some other parts? Blake says, is Marvel back? Are there a bunch of stinkers in the can that have to come out first? I think Agatha is probably that stinker in the can that has to come out first, because I really don't think that he's going to greenlight everything just because some 100 people had a passing interest. Oh, this should be a great first spinoff. No, there's some stuff we don't need to have a spinoff that doesn't need a series. They were a fun character in this show, never to be heard from again. Maybe we can reference them later, but now we're good with some of this other stuff. David asks, now the question is, do they make the movie with Spider-Man? What movie with Spider-Man? They're working on Spider-Man.
They're talking like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were talking about, hey, we'd like to do a movie with Tom Holland, a Marvel movie with Tom Holland.
They're going to do that movie with Tom Holland coming out in 2027.
What movie? I mean, I think it's going to be not the what is it? Not Doom Wars.
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, yeah. I think they're trying to do I think that's almost the, hey, can we make that Deadpool Part 4?
80 says, Marvel, here's more homework. Have fun. DC, here's a movie. We'll take our time to make sure it's great. Have a blast with it. I mean, we don't know about the DC movies just yet. James Gunn posted, we're done with Superman. Old cast was there. I don't know. What'd you say?
I'm filming.
Are they still filming, or are they done?
Wrapped up today or yesterday.
Oh, did they?
Jason, I don't know why you're walking into this.
No. I know. I want to bring it in. I want to get the full force of what he's going to come and hit us with.
I'm about to say. I just wanted to make sure that it was over. You know,
they have a year to do special effects. Get it actually polished.
Oh yeah, polish it up. Get it shiny. Looks like glass when you see it.
Get that sun. Oh, nice and shiny. And it's shiny right out your camera.
Yeah, long neck Superman. You know what I mean? He turns his head like an owl. You know what I mean? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I hope it shines real well for you all. You know,
it's just needless hate. Gradual Crime says Glenn Powell might make a good Hal Jordan. Glenn Powell apparently doesn't want to do comic book movies. But you know, I feel like half the time when people are saying stuff beforehand, especially if they're in the works, signing, they may try to do some stuff to throw everybody off.
They never got that. Look, and they haven't been offering that comic book money yet.
Right.
I mean, if you've talked to, say, Dakota Johnson and some people who've had bad movies and bad scripts, you're like, hey, I probably don't want to do a comic book movie before I knew who the director and writer are. I'd probably be a little apprehensive to sign on as a title character before they have those things in place. If I know
that's any movie though. Let me see. Where do we go?
Because I'm trying.
Hold on. David Thanos has a question. I was not too thrilled with the villain. I assume we're talking about Cassandra Nova. I think I would have preferred Mystique shapeshift equals more cameos. Gosh, David, I could not deal with another scene of Mystique in any more of these movies. Jennifer Lawrence looked like me seeing Jennifer Lawrence on screen for a copious amount of time. I mean, she was so bored in Dark Phoenix, and I was like, why is she back again? Like, I was tired of her when they did X-Men Apocalypse. She didn't need to be in that movie. Like, the perfect endpoint for her in those films was Days of Future Past. We did not need any more Mystique. And yeah, they could have done more cameos, but I would not have needed Mystique just for that.
After just watching Days of Future Past, she literally rescues Wolverine, and it could have just easily pieced out. It wouldn't be. Why would she be hanging out with? I never understood why she was.
I didn't know it wasn't Rebecca Romijn anymore.
Jennifer Lawrence is Mystique. She's been there since First Class. And really? I think in Future Past, they had Rebecca show up for a cameo.
Yeah, she was a cameo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's been a minute. 80s Kid says, this is Mr. Gunn we're talking about. Of course, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. I mean, now, I would say that if I hadn't watched Peacemaker. Peacemaker makes me go, well, he can make a mistake. He can make something that I don't enjoy. But beyond that, it's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you give him PG-13 restraint. And no, I think it's like, hey, you have to understand this is world building. And if you screw this up, it's done. I mean, I doubt it. Most people, if Superman sucks, as Chief wants it to.
No,
I doubt anybody. I mean, it's just okay. We invested in that Snyderverse, even though, truthfully, we were a little apprehensive after Man of Steel. We're like, okay, I like Henry Cavill, but there's issues I have problems with.
I hope it does well.
You're such a
liar.
I
don't know.
Like such a liar. Not even like a credible one either. It's just like, yeah, whatever.
You're hurting my feelings right now. I hope it does right.
I like how you said I wasn't lying.
You know what I mean? And I hope it does well. I hope it just grosses 2 or 3 billion. Fantastic Four and that Superman they hit. Everybody's just running to the theater.
Now you've gone too far.
And he actually wants everybody to run, not walk, not drive, run.
You know what I mean?
James says, hey, Jeff, does the Deadpool movie reset the MCU? No. What it does is like I've been asking them to do. I wouldn't say begging, but since they committed to this multiverse thing, they needed to do more multiverse stuff. And again, it's been 2 seasons of Loki, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, and Deadpool and Wolverine. in Quantumania. I keep trying to forget Quantumania because now that movie looks worse with everything that's happened. We're going to talk on soon. I really still strongly think that if they had said we're going to introduce Kang and put Kang as the adversary, the enemy of Thor in Thor's fourth film, not Love and Thunder, just make a serious Thor go against Jonathan Majors Kang, that would have set up so much and people would have been excited to see Kang in future installments. Because if Thor beats Kang, it's like, oh man, it took a lot to beat him because Thor is the Avengers' big gun.
And
When
we saw him
Ant-Man
take
does
on
it,
Thanos.
huh?
And we saw him take on Thanos.
Right.
It's okay. He's a world destroy. He's a world level character.
Right. And then it's like, oh shoot, there's more Kangs. That would have made it so. Oh, okay. Well, if it took Thor all this effort to beat this one, and then we just see there's millions more, oh, it's about to be on. When Ant-Man does it, it's like, one of my buddies in our text thread, he was going, my wife, who's not really into these movies, saw the Council of Kings and was like, great, time to just bring out more ants. It's like, well, you got somebody who's not living and dying by the MCU saying that. It's like, you're done. It's a wrap. Cap 4 looks pretty good, but so did Quantumania.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, for me, I never thought Kang being introduced in an Ant-Man movie made any sense. It was like, why here? You had Thanos show up in Guardians as a background spectator, but he wasn't fighting him in the first film. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say when they said Kang was going to, I don't know if I remember hearing that Kang was going to be the actual adversary. I heard Kang was going to appear in the movie. I thought he was going to do very similar. He's going to, again, because he is our world character, just as Thanos has been sprinkled in all of these movies. He's not going to, he's like, oh, I see what's going on in Ant-Man, but I don't care. It's too small for me. I mean, like that, I was expecting him to just brush off Ant-Man and there was going to be some Ant-Man level villain. Now, I want to go back to, I think it was Thanos. You didn't like his, can we say the name of the bad guy?
She's in the trailers. Fair
okay, like I got out of that. I really like Cassandra Nova. I thought she's been out of since
Green Goblin.
No, Green Goblin's good. I thought, and I what is it? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Those are my good MCU whatever phase we're in bad guys. The rest of them suck. Like the rest of them suck. She actually was good. I was like, oh yeah, she's a threat. The rest of these chumps, boo, big time. But I liked her character because she was somebody to be taken seriously. Like I got a thing. I got my, we'll talk next week. But I liked her.
Chief, what you think?
It was good. I mean, it wasn't. They picked a powerful villain. It wasn't like it was a person with no powers who saw their son get destroyed and then went on a quest to try to destroy a super powerful hero and almost do it.
He's talking about Love and Thunder, Jeff. I think.
No, I'm talking about Captain Marvel, where the person had no powers at all and almost defeated them. It was like, who was this?
You know what, Chief? I actually forgot that was a son dead. I'm like, that was when I literally she was horrible.
It could have been anybody. It could have been just any person who was like, oh, let's go after her. So I'm glad we had an actual person with powers, instead of just a regular person in there. Yeah.
What villain would I have wanted? I think they need to introduce new villains. And what I loved about Nova, she didn't have some tragic backstory that sent her spiraling down to become a villain. She's a bad girl. She was like, listen, I'm trying to wipe out stuff, try to kill my brother in the womb. I don't need a sympathetic villain. I want a bad guy that I can feel happy rooting against. And yeah,
that was why Hella worked to me. It was, I was in Bloody Campaign, and I'm wrecking some of your fake.
She did kind of have a thing of being disavowed by her daddy, so
She was a bloodthirsty animal. I mean, she was bloodthirsty, man. At some point, you kind of, all right, we need to rein it down. Nah.
the 80s kid. I'm sorry, James was saying the 80s kid. Was that sarcasm about James Gunn? I've seen it like most of his films, but he has yet to prove himself when it comes to creating a superhero universe. As far as I'm concerned, I need to see James Gunn do more than the Guardians formula. And I mean, he did kind of do it with Suicide Squad. I feel like he can do Superman justice. I feel like he's not going to do the Guardians thing there. I just hope that he's able to have fun with it. I'm much more optimistic about James Gunn helming this new iteration of the DC universe than some other ones. I do kind of have some questions about Creature Commandos starting things off, doing a Supergirl movie so soon after a Superman movie, not having Batman and Wonder Woman showing up first. It's kind of, those things might work themselves out with no problems. Like, it didn't even matter. But I am kind of curious about that stuff.
That's a good thing.
I thought Chief was referring to Revelations. Which Revelations?
No, I'm just talking about villains, man. Just villains that were actually worthy of fighting against the heroes they're trying to beat, and that Marvel movie.
I mean, okay, and the funny thing is, would Kang have been a good villain for the power level that they made Captain Marvel?
No, Captain Marvel's ridiculously overpowered, and they went too hard, just like the comic books. She's our Wonder Woman. She's not. She doesn't even need to be your answer to Wonder Woman. The best part about the characters in the comic was when they made her vulnerable and made her susceptible. She had a whole alcoholism arc, which made her more relatable than I've got all these amazing powers. Her power levels had decreased, and she was kind of struggling with not having as much power as before, and telling Captain America, you didn't tell me how to use my powers. It was great. And this one is so overpowered that she didn't have any vulnerability. She's just like, here, I'm here. Excuse me. And it's just not as much fun. Yeah, Warbird. So
I
interesting.
I didn't understand why they didn't introduce part of Rogue in there to decrease half her power.
Oh no, we couldn't do that yet. But to answer your question, I think Kang in Earth's Mightiest Heroes shows exactly how to do Kang well, and that's all they needed to do. And they could have done that way later and have him beat down a squad of Avengers. They overcome him, and they're like, man, we finally beat that guy. And then Kang comes back super powerful again, and it's like, oh man, we thought we beat him. But the way they did Kang didn't do him any favors, and that's why it was really easy for them to go, all right, we're shifting. I think if Jonathan Majors hadn't gotten any headline attention issues, they could have salvaged the character, but it was really easy to write him off with Loki season 2. Okay, now let's get into all of the stuff. Hold on, let me see here. I'm just looking to see if there's some other stuff first. Okay. So The Lanterns is going to have 8 episodes straight to series on HBO, Chief. And I know you're hyped and excited for that.
The Lanterns?
Yeah. Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart.
Okay. When is that coming
out? A late 2025 or early 2026.
Why are we talking about it? Yeah. I feel like that's just disrespectful, bro. All right. You know what I mean?
It's a year away, maybe.
Right. And it's coming out 2 years from now. How many episodes?
8.
Yeah, great. 8 episode series 2 years away. Yeah.
Ace is excited about it.
8 episodes that'll be, you don't have to wait 8 weeks to get them. So it comes very similar to old school Netflix.
I didn't say it was being released all
Hey,
at
you
once.
said it's a series. I thought you were I thought you were alluding to it was coming.
I did not say that.
No, I mean
8
2
episodes.
years away. I mean, 8 episodes that's all you can spare in 2 years? 2 years?
I mean,
right. Come on, man. What are you talking
in
about
fairness, Lanterns, if they do it right, requires more money than some of these other things. So
and
they
you got
can't make
2
it look
years
bad.
to put that money in there.
There you go.
And make 24 episodes.
Well, okay,
They're gonna put that $1 billion that they get from Joker Part 2 to use.
Okay, 8 episodes to make. Is this going to be a mystery kind of deal?
2 years, bro.
Jeff, do you know that? Is it mystery?
In terms of what?
Like it's detective, like kind of true. I heard like rumors it was kind of like a True Detective with Green Lanterns.
I really don't think they have any idea about what they know yet, and
Okay.
they're just still in the hey, we're planning and all this stuff. It has zero to do.
I love it. 2 years.
Would you rather have them write a solid screenplay and get all those little tiny plot holes out, or would you rather see another Acolyte that has all the plot holes and it's rushed to screening out?
I don't want to rush, but if you're going to tell me about it, then tell me it comes out in October. Like, you could have waited the 2 years and then been like, yo, Green Lantern drives in October, 8 episodes. And I would have been like, fine with that. Okay, that's cool. Episodes coming in October. If you tell me something is 2 years away and you're like, oh, well, we're going to get 8 episodes 2 years from now, that's irritating to me.
Yeah, you don't like the anticipation.
2 years, bro? That's a hell of an anticipation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a girl told you I was going to go out with you in 2 years, would you be like, yeah? Yeah.
Sure.
I got you that date, 2026. I'll let you take me anywhere you want to. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you, baby girl. You know what I mean? Or if she told you, well, listen, I come back from such and such in October, I'm going to be ready for you. Oh, all right, cool. We got to wait. Now it's 2 years.
You enjoyed the McFarlane toy reveal. Hey, here's the story. We got it coming out soon. It'll be on pre-order for like a week.
Bro, just let me know that it's coming out this year if you're going to mention it. I don't, you know. If only.
I can save my money. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk. We'll get into all these other news tidbits. Let's just go right into it. Oh wait, sorry. I think it was Jamelin that asked earlier, "What's all this stuff that's coming?" Let's see if I can find that question. I know it was earlier. Blake asked, "Is there a bunch of stingers in the can that have to come out first?" So here is, according to Screen Rant, everything is coming. October 25th this year, Chief. So you can see it. You don't have to wait 2 years from now. Venom: The Last Dance. And there are some rumors that Michael Jordan may be appearing in it. Kraven the Hunter, December 13th. So back-to-back Sony Spider-Man films. Then February 14th, showing a little love to you and to break up happy couples everywhere is Captain America: Brave New World. And I like the trailer a lot. They've been hyping this as kind of like another Winter Soldier in terms of the tone. And we saw that sneak peek of the Red Hulk. And now we know that Giancarlo Esposito is going to be playing the head of the Serpent Society, Sidewinder. So that's pretty exciting and cool. So lots of cool stuff there. And I am really looking forward to see what they do with that. Then we've got let's see. Oh, and they're also going to be referencing a certain metal that's found in a certain mutant. And that's going to tie into the Celestial that was left in Eternals, because Kevin Feige said no to a sequel to Eternals. So we're not worrying about that.
What? They're gonna not do a sequel to Eternals? Man, that is a damn shame. I mean, you're dropping a lot of on us this night, man. I don't know if I'm gonna sleep well.
I know that Eternals is gonna leave you tossing.
I'm gonna have to go to Disney tonight after we get off of this podcast and rewatch Eternals, man, and rewatch that glory that was Eternals. So yeah, you pretty much ruined my evening. Thank you.
I'm sorry. My humble apologies. So 2025 is a big year for Marvel. We just had to get through Agatha. On May 2nd, the typical big release for a Marvel Studios film, we get Thunderbolts. And we're going to have a whole bunch of hero villains in there. Baron Zemo is going to be back. And that's coming May 2nd. And it sounds like they're going to be fighting Sentry. And so what we do know about that are those characters are going to show up again. So the characters from Brave New World, Thunderbolts, will be seen in future Marvel Studio films. Kevin Feige said they will be back. So if you're doing your character countdown or checklist of who all can be in these upcoming Avenger films, just like we had an idea who's going to show up or who we were expecting to see in Infinity War and Endgame, you can put those characters on your list. Let's see. And then July 25th, lots of Marvel Studio films coming. The writer's strike slowed them down, but they're coming back with gusto. Fantastic Four, First Steps. And that's July 25th, 2025.
That's the name of the movie, First Steps?
First Steps. And I guess they're going to kind of explain why they're in a different world. And that world is going to be set in the 60s. And I suppose at some point they're going to come over to the multiverse proper. Yeah. So that's kind of intriguing in the fact that they realize introducing the Fantastic Four as a rookie group at this point in the MCU's sacred timeline would be wild. So they're going to have a Fantastic Four that's already had wild adventures coming into the MCU proper.
First Steps, 1960, because retro movies do well.
Hey, man, you like Captain America, the First Avenger. You like Captain Marvel.
Wonder Woman 84.
Did you like WandaVision?
WandaVision, all that stuff wasn't, but it wasn't a retro movie. They didn't start out, the 84 took place in 84.
84 is a different company. We can't be held accountable for what mess they do.
I can't wait. I can't wait for First Steps to hit. I can't wait. I'm excited. I am truly excited. And I haven't been excited for anything in a long time.
You're more anticipating. You're more excited about the anticipation of these failing than you are of actually seeing a movie you might actually want to watch.
Let the hate grow, young Skywalker. Let me tell you something, man. I am excited. So, First Steps, and that was a great name. That was a great name, by the way. So, yeah. So we're looking at 2025 is looking up. You know what I mean? Let's do it, fellas. Let's do it. You know what I mean? The 60s. That's delicious. All right.
So in this, they have teased very strongly that we're going to see Galactus. And at San Diego Comic-Con, they had like a drone show with Galactus. Apparently, the trailer or the teaser trailer, they showed Galactus looking like he did in the comic book, not some bogus cloud. And this is going to possibly explain why there's a female Silver Surfer showing up in this one. So everybody can unclench and just go along for the ride.
And this is what? This is Silver Surfer Fantastic Four again?
Yeah, in First Steps.
Okay. And the next movie, they walk. So, okay, Fantastic Four, they walk. So, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for First Steps. And then this part 2, they walk. So Galactus is coming. And his herald is a female Silver Surfer. Man, yeah, hell yeah. All right. We got this down, man. It's gonna be perfecto. And I know everybody here in the comments is like, man, this is gonna be good. And it is gonna be good, man.
David Thanos is on your side, apparently. They really need to stop shoving Fantastic Four down our throats. I will say that we have not had a Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Studios Fantastic Four. Fox was churning those movies out simply to stop Marvel Studios from getting it after a certain point. I understand. Hey, it's cool to rip on those first two. I thought they had redeeming points. They were entertaining, probably the same way that Chief feels about Green Lantern. I hated that last one with Miles Teller and Kate Mara. That was terrible.
They hated that movie.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone associated with it, including the audience, hated the movie.
Yeah.
And Jamlin goes, I mean, did they even test the name? There's no way that scored well with focus groups.
First Steps, Jamlin? That is perfect. It's the First Steps. The moon, the 60s, First Steps.
Okay. If you're thinking, okay, we're doing a retro movie, very similar to Captain America, the first Avenger. We're showing you that, hey, again, when we see it's I don't know if anybody's seen a kind of a trailer teaser. It is going to have kind of just like the first steps for the moon landing.
Are you implying that you've seen this teaser trailer?
I may have seen a teaser trailer.
I have not. I just put it together.
Again, it's set in the 60s where they're starting to get to the moon. So it would make sense to say, hey, we're starting similar in a different universe, but same kind of ideas. Well,
it looks like 80s kids seen it too. It looks great from the leaks. All right.
I didn't see the part with Galactus, but I did see some like, okay, like their interactions look like they don't look like they're so robotic that they can't hang out with each other. They're like that last Fox one, it was like, oh gosh, who's paying this check, man? Who's picking up dinner? Not me. I'm out.
No, I don't like the alliteration either. I don't. I mean, I guess they're just trying to distinguish themselves from the other Fantastic Four films. Are they going to find out the Transformer? Find the Transformer dark the movie.
Daily on point tonight, man.
Always.
Yeah,
all
man,
right.
wait. And that's 2025 is now we're in May of 2025, right?
No, that's July.
Okay, we're in July 2025. Okay.
Now this clearly needs to be updated, but as of this moment, they still have Blade coming in November 7th. We know that's just wrong because they have done 0 for Blade. Then we're moving on to 2026. Avengers Doomsday. So let's put it on the table. At Comic-Con, we got the big reveal, and I think I mentioned this a couple episodes back where the Russo Brothers were in talks to come back to do Secret Wars. Wrong. They're coming back to direct the next 2 films. And not only them, but Stephen Marcus. Hope I remember that name properly. Let me see here real fast. Squid Game's coming back December 25th, by the way. I know you're excited legit about that, Chief.
I didn't watch the last one.
What?
The second one too?
No, of course I said that wrong. Stephen McFeely is coming back. And he was the writer for Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, along with his writing partner, Christopher Marcus. Marcus decided for whatever reason not to come back, but so 3/4 of the Winter Soldier through Endgame team are back. And they're not the only ones. Of course, you know Robert Downey Jr. is coming as Dr. Doom this time. Chief, what's your thoughts on this?
On Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom? Are they going to do the storyline where Doom switches bodies with Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark?
I love that you reference these. I don't know. They have not said anything. I suppose he's a multiverse version of Dr. Doom and Tony Stark.
I mean, there's a storyline where Tony Stark is well, he takes Victor Von Doom's body and Victor Von Doom takes his body. I mean, there's a storyline, so it's possible if they do that storyline. But also you know, I mean, I'm a fan of Robert Downey Jr., man. So I don't mind that, man. But what this is for Secret Wars?
No, it's for Doomsday. He's showing up in 2 films as Dr. Doom.
Is his own movie?
Doomsday? Huh?
Doomsday is his own movie?
Yes. It's Avengers Doomsday. So the Avengers are going to be, I would assume from the title, dealing in some way with Dr. Doom from whatever multiverse he's hailing from. And then in the sequel, which is coming out, so Doomsday is May 1st, 2026. Secret Wars comes out May 7th, 2027. Hopefully you will still be alive.
You're asking a lot, brother.
I know, and I understand that. So that's where they're going with that. Badger O'Brien says Henry Cavill would have made a perfect Dr. Doom. He's imposing. It would have been a gym shorts in your face dunk on DC, and Doom would not have had the Doom boss getting his AARP mail. No comment for now. David Thanos says, I don't get why they didn't cast dude from The Office to play Richards like he did in that Doctor Strange movie. I love Pedro Pascal, but he ain't no Richards. I will say, watching like a really, really quick snippet from Marvel Studios Instagram account, they had the cast of the Fantastic Four doing just like some basic talking to the camera. It seemed like they actually had a good chemistry, like Jace was saying. And I was more excited, and I think it's because he cut his hair, because I've watched him in so many things as of late where he's got this shaggy mane, but he had it cut close crop way more like Reed Richards, and I was like, okay, I'm with it a lot more, because I just thought he was going to come out like, yo, what's up, everybody? It's the Mandalorian showing up as Reed Richards. Ryan says it will be amazing if Doom keeps his mask on the whole time and we never see RDJ's face. I feel like we'll keep him in the mask until like maybe the cliffhanger moment of Doomsday, and it's like, oh my gosh. But I'm with you. I think it would be great to limit the amount of time we see Tony Stark on screen, just to avoid the what and the conversations for people who have no idea what's going on, who are not glued into all this stuff going, wait, and that Tony Stark and then Iron Man. Well, actually, because you know that's going to go big time. And Jamelin says, do you guys have Chief chained to his chair? This ain't right, y'all. I am Dr. Doom. Finger snap.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to this thing here, man.
Jace, what's your excitement on this?
Oh, when I saw that, I was like, I mean, when the Russos were coming back, that got like, okay, you're steady. If your ship is a little shaky, that's steadying the ship. Okay, good, all right. Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. Oh, okay, that was a twist I hadn't saw. But I'm also like, do I think Robert Downey Jr. could play an actual bad guy Dr. Doom? Yeah. Do I think you need probably 2 or 3 years to write out a good script to make even a multiverse variant? Yeah. But there's the other. This is what actually gave me a little bit of hope. Again, folks, this is one of those easy things. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Just go watch it. Because of that, it was when they had, I think it was almost Kang was almost Tony Stark. and they had kind of a storyline where he's like, I could have easily been Kang. Oh, actually, Kang is uses some of Tony Stark's technology. And it's very much, I basically created the conditions to make this. You can make a variant that just as the Ultron bots, he decides, I don't need to wait for anybody. I'm just going to become the dictator. I think there's a lot of fun they can play around with. So I am excited about that.
Okay. I am so thrilled and excited the Russo brothers are coming back. I'm like, they've been my favorite creators in this MCU next to Ryan Coogler, and they have way more films in this than Ryan Coogler. I love the fact that McFeely's coming back. I think he's got a great handle or co-handle on these MCU characters alongside Marcus. I'm a little bit surprised that he's not coming back and just decided not to. I'm not loving the idea of having RDJ back as Doctor Doom. I don't hear what kind of it's a multiverse version. Just make him Tony Stark, Iron Man. And Ryan, I think, really sums it up perfectly. I dislike this casting because it intrinsically links Doctor Doom to Iron Man instead of Reed. Tony already stole Ultron from Hank Pym. Now he's stealing Doctor Doom too. Yeah, I mean, he's the arch enemy of Reed Richards. I don't want this connection with him and Tony Stark. I know for for the Avengers, but unless you have Chris Evans coming back, it's Tony Stark. It's Captain America showing up, in one of his trips, restoring these Infinity Gems. Not everyone, most of the cats who would be like, oh man, it's Tony Stark, are dead or not around. Yeah, sure, Falcon Cap would care, and maybe Wanda, and sure, Doctor Strange, kind of, sort of, and Rhodey, I suppose, if he's going to be around at this point. But there's no Black Widow, there's no Cap. Hawkeye's basically retired. Hulk, what are they doing with him? I just feel like this was a time to shift over and not put the focus on the Avengers as much. Go to the Fantastic Four. This would be a great way to boost up Reed Richards as a real mover shaker in this MCU going forward. And instead, it's just like, all right, everything else we've tried and have done such a colossal job of messing it up on our own. Now we got to go back and press let's send Robert Downey Jr. as much money as he possibly wants.
He was already getting money out of every Marvel movie. So
now then, I think you sent this to me. Variety gave us all the information, behind the scenes stuff. The Russos are getting $80 million to come back. RDJ is getting more, and his salary multipliers could mean that he's going to get over $1 billion, which, given what he does for these MCU films, almost seems like a bargain for him. Marvel's footing his private jet, private security, and private trailer. Marvel originally planned to recast Kang, but the mixed reception to the character made them pivot to Doom, and then negotiations with Downey began in May. So on that deal, they had no one to blame for audiences not caring about Kang than themselves. The dude lost to Ant-Man. There's no way you can build up anybody if they lose to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Just no way.
He was supposed to be the baddest version of Kang that he lost. It wasn't Kang. If it was Kang the Mighty, Kang the Wispy, maybe. But it was Kang the Conqueror, the baddest of the bad dudes, and he got beat. He was not treated as a superhero Lord of Time. He was treated as a regular dude, and that was one of those. Kevin Feige was not paying attention. He was not. Again, that was him drinking, chilling on an island, having to wait a couple too many daiquiris. Even if he doesn't drink, I don't know. But that was him just not paying attention. Because just like She-Hulk, this shouldn't have got greenlit. This wasn't the way to go. We should have had this guy being a big thing.
ICT Vinny's right. Kang, which Avengers version are you? Didn't I kill you? Exactly. This dude was tearing through all these multiverse versions of the Avengers, and Ant-Man / Giant Man beats him because he sticks a bunch of ants on him. Come on. Like, in building up your big bad and your top 5 Avengers, like Captain Marvel, Thor, I mean, even Captain America, because Captain America is always held up to a high standard. Black Panther and the Wakandans, all those characters in Doctor Strange, all of those characters would make sense to tackle Kang and convincingly hold off one version, and then it's like, oh man, but you didn't beat the big version, not Giant Man.
I mean, here I'm using a wrestling analogy on this. Kang was the guy you don't build up and have vignettes on, and in his first movie, in his first match, he loses to your mid-card guy that he's supposed to squash.
The job guy?
Yeah, like you can't have I mean, because it was the one they did. I mean, now he's like when they did for Karrion Kross after he was NXT champion, and then all of a sudden he loses his first match on SmackDown or Raw. I was like, wait, we just built this dude up. Why did you squash all our hard work? And that was the Ant-Man. I mean, that was the Kang. Dude, he was supposed to be big. Like, why did you screw him up? Like, even in Loki, he was talking, he was this bad dude. And then he's beat by Ant-Man, a regular guy. Like, that was lame.
Chief, what do you think?
I'm not into I don't know. When you start getting into the inner workings of these things, I just kind of just bow out at that time. I think that I've never, whether the Feige's or the situations or these guys doing this or that, I couldn't tell you one guy from the other. I have no idea what any of them look like, what they do. Only thing I hope for is good movies. Now, people being like, whether he's why are you laughing, man? Because I
reading the chat and somebody mentioned Chris Evans as Mole Man.
Oh yeah, it's always, it's just been bad for a long time, man. And I don't know if any of these guys, what they're gonna do better than whoever did what. This Kang situation is just weird to me. I didn't watch Ant-Man because of it. I thought the character was crazy. So I didn't watch Ant-Man with the Kang.
With the Kang,
Martin Luther the Kang. So I didn't watch Ant-Man with it. So when he left the universe, I didn't feel any kind of way. I'm talking about the character, not the actor. I don't know how powerful he was it going to be, what it was going to be like. So, the one thing about these movies, man, they go into a different direction every time. So, one direction, we're headed one direction. We think we got a character thing, a base going, and then they'll come in and they'll be like, well, we're starting a new character. So, whether Kang is there or somebody, else, it'll work out, I guess, to some degree. To me, they're just blowing money fast, BMFing it over there. Everything is just kind of nothing is on solid ground. It's almost like watching. Remember the original Game of Thrones when you wasn't sure who's going to die from week to week?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is over there now. You're not sure what project is going to die from week to week, what character is coming back, who's going to do what. They're all on the Games of Thrones list. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, man. I like I said, people weren't loving Kang anyway when it came out.
They ruined them. I mean, it was.
What's up, Clint?
But I mean, if you would use the Kang name, they were starting to build in Loki season 1. Like, I mean, like Jonathan Major comes out and plays like the man at the end of time. I forget what his actual name is, but it was, you're gonna be sorry.
He who remains.
He who remains. It was like, you're gonna be sorry. I've been keeping this dude back, but now I can't do anything. And that was I mean, they built the anticipation like this guy was gonna be something major.
I didn't watch Loki season 1. I just couldn't get into it.
You suck.
I just listen, man. I tried.
You started a multiverse. Like, what?
I couldn't get into
This
it.
is
Man.
why you're so apathetic to some of this stuff. Like Loki was legit, really good, and Jonathan Majors was great. He had, I mean, they were saying he's in it, and he had one moment, but he killed that moment so strong. It was like, oh wow, let's see more of him. And then did we see anything else of him outside of like where did he appear in the post credit for with Loki?
Loki.
Was that Doctor Strange?
How was season 2?
Season 2 was also really good.
Okay.
And his character in it was great.
And
but they
season 3.
Huh?
And there's no season 3 for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna jump right on it.
More lies. To quote my man Batfleck, save one person, make one good movie. I mean, I think they're on track based on their course correction, but I really think they did this to themselves by doing a concept that they hadn't really earned. The multiverse is something that you need to throw in all these Sony characters, all the Fox characters, all the other random characters that you pimped out to all these other studios and do a crisis, since DC has no idea how to do their own version of something they came up with. And I don't know if anybody cares. I mean, you have to reset things. You can't go no more Black Panther, no more Captain America, no more Iron Man, no more Black Widow, at least the ones you cared about. Sure, we've got replacements, but come on. And also we're going to do a multiverse. Nobody cares about the multiverse. We lost these core characters that we're invested in. And this is why I keep saying if they had just done a Secret Invasion thing, that would work better. Because, oh, shoot, these guys aren't real. They're Skrulls. I could have done that. And so now it's like, all right, focus back. Let's make Brave New World a sequel in a sense to The Winter Soldier. Cool. That seems like it gets Captain America, Falcon on track to have a good movie. And we're going to do the Fantastic Four and tie them into the multiverse. Cool. That sounds solid. And we're also going to do the Thunderbolts, and they're going to connect to this multiverse. They're going to appear in the next Avengers films. Okay, cool. Now you've already said that they're going to matter beyond an 8-episode appearance in something that who knows what it's going to mean.
I mean, but there's some regular dudes. They're not superheroes. They're a bunch of regular people with certain skills. We're used to, with the Marvel brand, is superheroes. I mean, the person they're fighting, Sentry, is a good guy, correct?
Sentry. Very loose terms, sort of, kind of. He's got mental issues that makes him his own villain. So he's a very interesting character. I think the problem with it is they've kind of made it sound like it's the DC universe or extended universe Suicide Squad, where we put all these villains together to go against a powerful magical character of sort. So we'll see. ICT Vinny says Loki was legit, Chief. The end of the season 1 was awesome and gave me so much hope for the movies to follow. And now,
exactly. So, I mean, I believe him. I
don't know. I think, Vinny, that they had to say Downey Jr. is coming back. I think what they could have done is just say, and oh yeah, this guy's coming back, and not tell us how Robert Downey Jr. is going to show back up in the MCU. leave it up to our speculation. Oh man, it's gonna be a variant from another Earth, and it's gonna be Tony Stark, Iron Man. And then we watch the movie, and it's like, oh, he's actually Doctor Doom. So I think they could have done what you wanted. But people are saying it's superhero fatigue, like 80s kid. I'm not tired of superhero movies. I'm just tired of the MCU. They're overstaying their welcome.
As I said earlier in the show, I don't think it's never been. You're never tired of good movies. You're tired of bad movies. I mean, if you have a brand that has, I mean, you're not tired of Freddy movies. You're tired of bad Freddy movies. You're not tired of bad Jason slashing people in Camp Crystal Lake. You're tired of stupid movies. And as long as you create, hey, you don't have Captain Marvel getting jumped by regular person, you don't care. Bad TV shows that you just weren't invested in, and you kicked all our original characters to the curb, like you were saying, Jeff. That's a big thing. It's like I'm really excited about seeing Tony Stark. I'm not really caring about Riri Williams. It's like that's
super genius, though.
You start us on a path of we don't want to go. And the fact that they were like they knew they had to make a mistake. I mean, hey, like I said again, John, we made a mistake. We have to correct this. This franchise is too much money to be made. Now, I'm just like credit Boulder Wolf Prime. Henry Cavill would have been a whole lot cheaper than Robert Downey Jr. And I think he would have had the same. I think if you would introduce him as Dr. Doom, I think that'd be people, oh shoot, didn't see that coming. You could have actually had that Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four world, but just again is a cameo, get shifted over into Doom's world. Now I'm in this new world. I'm ready to do things. I think that would have been really cool.
Well, there's a rumor that we're going to see Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four film. It's not the one you're expecting.
I mean, but it basically like when you tell me Doom world, I assume that Doom is going to be the main focus. That could be.
There is a possibility that the real Dr. Doom, the real Slim Shady, shows up and kills the Iron Man Tony Stark version. And then we got a new villain for Secret Wars. And then we get another Iron Man variant that's actually legit Tony Stark. And he comes to help the Avengers and Fantastic Four fight the true Dr. Doom.
And then you have some Skrulls to actually do something. Oh, wait. Is Guy going to come back and save the day?
No. You should really just admit we're not going to see anything referencing Secret Invasion. That was trash. Chief, did you watch that one?
What? No.
Good.
I did.
I'm not going to say anything about you should have seen that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to watch it. It didn't look interesting at all.
It was terrible.
And then this theory you got, it was taking place in the 60s, as long before Tony Stark's put on that Iron Man suit. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I hope it's great for you. I hope it's great. Don't laugh at me, Jason.
I mean, really as you said, let the hate flow through.
I just, you know, if I was a Star Wars character, I'd be a Sith Lord. It's just what it is.
Would you be the creepy master?
No, I'm not creeping. I'm listen. Let me tell
you
you
have
something.
A lightsaber whip, Chief.
With those Jedis that from the Accolade, I would just be a Jedi killer. It would be seconds. I would kill hundreds of them. Yeah. So yeah, definitely a Sith Lord though. You know what I mean? Hey, I hope it's good for you. I see you over there looking, Jeff, scrolling. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I see you scrolling, old buddy. Yeah. Everybody, Go get your tickets for Fantastic Four. It's coming out in about 8 months. Buy early. The theater's gonna be packed for months. You won't be able to get in there for months.
Hey, honestly, I would not care as long as Galactus is not a blob of smoke.
Yeah, hey man, just you get in there. Hey, you get in there and enjoy, man. Go to that 4D. Spend that $50. Go to that 4D, man. Get the rumbling and the turning and everything, man. Where you can get a stein of beer. You know, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. So,
yeah, that's the one Marvel project that that is truly probably Earth's Mightiest Heroes was probably so good. They're just like, we can't go back to this in animation form. Even as much as X-Men 97
in game,
they just it's like, no, that was so good. We can't do that again.
They could though. ICT Vinny and Ryan have some comments that I definitely want to address here. Not all the MCU movies were great in the early phases, exactly, but at least each of them furthered the overall story, the climax, and an awesome two-parter. There hasn't been any type of build-up afterwards. And Ryan picks up and goes, feels like season 4 stumbled because it didn't. I think you're saying phase 4 stumbled because it didn't pick up the momentum after Endgame. It was a bunch of brand new characters starting from scratch, placeholder Disney Plus series. Let's see the second part. Okay. They took too long to get to what was supposed to be the connective tissue of Kang and the multiverse, that by then there was no forward momentum or must-see excitement. Exactly. They had so many shows that didn't matter to the multiverse. It was like, oh, look, here's what do they call Quicksilver? Boner. It was like, okay, whatever. It was, and in fact, that they've done so much stuff. And I mean, Shang-Chi didn't connect it all to the multiverse.
Yeah. The Marvels could have easily connected. I mean, Ms. Marvel could have easily connected to the multiverse because the bad guy came.
You mean the Marvel? It did connect to the multiverse.
But it didn't. It's like it. You should have mentioned Kang. It's at every one point you mentioned the bad guy. Like our universe was destroyed by Kang. Genie's universe was destroyed by Kang.
And let's be honest. Let's take another honesty thing out of that too. The Avengers were all that they were all high level characters. After the Avengers ended, we started getting, these weren't even B characters. Like, we started getting characters that, like, you had to really be in the comic books to know who a lot of these characters were. You're like, who? What? So we didn't even, we took a drop from here. We were all riding along in something German, right? It was beautiful. It was just, we were flowing down the Autobahn.
Highway was just
okay. There we go.
Flowing down the Autobahn and just beautiful movies in something German. And then we just ended up in a hoopty. You know what I mean?
And then in DC traffic in the hoopty.
Yeah. You know, look a Ford LTD. You know what I mean? Wagon, the big boy with the fake wood on the side. You know what I'm talking about? And this is what we ended up driving in. It's nobody's dream car. Nobody thought that we'd be driving in the LTD, right? And they just put us in the LTD and was like, yo, here y'all go. Love us.
Is she suggesting Icarus isn't an A-level character? Because I'll turn the stream off right now.
Hey, Ryan, you got to go there, man. Because Icarus, I saw the movie and still don't know who that character is.
He was a knockoff Superman who referenced Superman.
Yeah, so there we are. Here we are. So, you know, well, I don't know what else to say, man.
All right, David Thanos has something I definitely want to address.
Okay.
I think it's more like we don't want this long storytelling again for the new phase. I would disagree so much because there's never been anything that was built up to the level of Endgame where you had to see Endgame. Everyone was looking forward to it. Infinity War ended in a way it was like, what? I can't wait till next year for this movie to come out. And it was a mega event, more than maybe any Star Wars film I've seen since The Force Awakens, where people were so excited and hyped up. What's gonna happen? Oh, but I just feel like their whole thing of being based around comic book characters, that connective thread, the homework to do these things, you could say, all right, No Way Home is the official end, or Far From Home is the official end of the Infinity Saga. We're starting a new one. It's like a new comic book arc that's going on for years and years. I just think they botched so dramatically the stories, the chapters that made up this multiverse saga. We didn't need the scrolls. We didn't need a secret invasion if you're not going to dedicate everything to it. Just don't do it. Come up with different alternate realities of different things and make that a TV show. Don't do a WandaVision where she's actually, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were fine because they built off the storylines from the previous phase or saga.
They were epilogue.
But it was so much stuff like Hawkeye, cool. Miss Marvel, cool. But they didn't do anything. They didn't move any chess pieces forward to the multiverse saga. So whereas you had to watch everything, even Iron Man 3, even Thor the Dark World, to get the full scope of the saga for the Infinity Saga, you could skip so much for this multiverse stuff. Oh, I need to watch Spider-Man. Like if you were to give somebody homework, watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, watch Loki season 1 and 2. You don't have to watch WandaVision because you'll catch up later. And then watch Multiverse of Madness and Deadpool and Wolverine. I was gonna say it one time, and you're good. There's no homework. It's okay. This thing has portals. I need to watch this.
I'm gonna do this again with my wrestling analogy again because I'm bringing it back. Seeing Cody Rhodes start in WWE and wait 2 years to see how that storyline plays out. That anticipation drives movies. Cliffhangers. This is why successful TV shows, the season finale is a cliffhanger. It's never actually wrapped up in that finale. It's here's our hero dealt with this bad guy, but this thing happens, and you're like, "Ooh, I gotta press play on this next season." Chief, I'm just saying, I'm actually watching Supernatural season 4, and I'm like, "You had me. I'm going to season 5. We're not. This isn't the game." Like the best. We love long form storytelling. We just can't have so much sprinkled. This didn't matter, or this is bad to start off with. That just kills us.
Yeah. Chief, you got anything else on it?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, do you feel like do you feel like I've hit it home?
I think you're sitting there getting your congratulations from everybody, waiting to slap hands with you because you just nailed another one out the park.
No, I'm just I feel like I said what I said, and it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. And we it is what it is at this point. So we got a lot of B characters, C characters.
Then I think you said C characters.
C characters, and then DC never finished their work and started throwing us C characters. That was the messed up work. We never got the completion of that universe. And then they was like, Blue Beetle. And so here we go, bro. So there's a lot of nonsense going on within these universes right now. And I'm not sure. Now they got a hold of the X-Men now. They got a hold of the X-Men and
the Fantastic Four.
And
he was on a nice roll, and he just.
And even though you read out all those movies all the way up to 2026, there's no mentioning of an X-Men movie. Why? Those are all A-list characters.
What was the last X-Men movie you watched? Like X-Men, not a Deadpool. What was the last X-Men movie? Exactly.
I don't
And
remember.
that's why.
But that's because
why
Fox had it. Those movies were horrible.
they were.
Yeah.
So now Marvel has it, and I'm hoping that they can do something pretty well with the X-Men movies. Even if they take off in a way where they start off with every character separate and then bring them together. I don't care. Well, no, and I don't mean every character, but I'm just saying
the idea just works.
Yeah, I'm just saying like a couple of characters have their own movies. That's fine. I'm just saying that I don't want that I don't want what we've been watching, what they've been serving. This X-Men, this cold grits. Who likes their grits cold? I don't. I don't like cold grits. And we've been getting a lot of X-Men cold grits served to us. And I refuse to eat it anymore. I just push my grits off the table. I'm not eating that.
So that's kind of how the Fantastic Four was. But the only the difference was they had 2 Fantastic Four movies of okay quality and 1 terrible one. But you look at all the X-Men films, there were so many of those that had bad quality where they've got to give people a little bit of breather from the bad stench of the X-Men brand as of late, because they were terrible movies. Dark Phoenix was awful. X-Men Apocalypse was just as bad, but not quite as awful. I mean, they had a Power Ranger villain.
So 2026 would still be 2 years from now. I don't know when the last X-Men, look, X-Men First Steps, right? Right. Right. Al Green loves it, yeah.
Oh man.
They might not be able to eat, but I'm just saying that they have you've gotten rid of the original Avengers or that group. You got a whole nother group of A-list tier characters waiting. And I'm saying that if you put out a movie, I don't know when the last X-Men movie was. I'm sure it was a couple years ago. But I'm saying if you put out a movie in 2026, 2027, it has cleared. It's probably been about a 5-year clearance since the last X-Men movie. And don't fake like these Bammers haven't been throwing movies after movies at us.
But you haven't seen a lot of them because they look bad.
Who do you think? Because you mentioned something. Who do you think and the X-Men is worthy of a solo movie by themselves?
Gambit.
He said he likes a Gambit movie.
No. Because you say they have A-level characters ready to go movies. I don't. I think that the X-Men is a team. You don't start with trying to make them all A-level. It's a team, and you have to make
who had their own comic.
The X-Men. And then after Wolverine became a breakout character, he got one. And then let's try a Storm book, a Gambit book, an Iceman book. And people were like, no,
I don't want it. I mean, I want the X-Men team. And as Eric said, 97 was so good, you're just like, wait a minute, I don't know. We got this license back and we made a really good property. I don't know if we can do a live action movie based after this, because we have to, even though we have a multiverse, we don't want to step on the toes of this.
Let me ask you this:
good.
What if we did X-Men villain movies?
You want to work for Sony?
Huh? You said what happened now? Because y'all did some kind of brother thing that y'all are both sucking and giving me all teeth, and I'm just what happened?
We both said you want to work for Sony.
Well, I don't mean a Venom movie. I mean like,
but that's what you would get: a bunch of X-Men villains, Magneto the movie, Mystique the movie, the Hellfire Club.
The movie? Is that where we're going?
You said bad. You want X-Men villain movies? I'll match my Kraven the Hunter with our Mystique. Go. So
you don't feel like the Juggernaut the movie?
No.
Why do you always say like Juggernaut? Juggernaut.
Juggernaut by himself that's
a totally different movie, Chief.
I mean, he's got a helmet on. He's big and can't be stopped other than
phrasing, please. Phrasing. Thank you.
I
He's got a
mean,
helmet and
what I'm
can't be
saying
stopped.
is it could be his movie. Then you can put them X-Men fully in there to stop him. I'm just saying that they can do a reverse thing where the movies are about the villains, but the X-Men go there to fight the villains. I mean, there's ways to get around it where there's villain arc stories, and then you can bring the characters in or a few characters in to try to stop those villains. I mean, there's ways to go back and reintroduce it. Hey, the Juggernaut.
It's funny.
Every time.
Or not.
You know what I mean?
And you coming up with the tagline, bro. He's got a helmet and can't be stopped. The Juggernaut.
Hey, he's got his helmet and can't be stopped. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. You know?
It is what it is. Yeah, another quality production from Fox. I think the strength of the X-Men is that they're a group of outsiders forced to become a family because everybody hates dirty mutants. And we've already started to see the X-Men in the MCU proper because of that cutscene or end scene in the Marvels. So they exist somewhere out there. I don't think they need to do a big deal of, hey, let's do an X-Men movie. Make those Jokers pop up in Secret Wars, have them fight alongside Cap, Iron Man, Thor, call it a day. Then we'll go focus on the X-Men later. We don't need to do any build up with them. It's fine. We've seen 28 movies with the X-Men already.
You just put them in the regular costumes, and everybody like, oh, that is Cyclops, that's Colossus, that's Jean Grey. Got it. I've been there. Let's go.
I'm just saying. All right. Transformers G.I. Joe movie was supposed to be coming with director Stephen Caple Jr. He directed Creed 2, and he also directed Rise of the Beast. He was going to be doing this crossover, but he got into some issues with the producer. What's his face? Lorenzo D. Bonaventura. This dude sucks. He's been the one behind all these lackluster Transformer films, these lackluster G.I. Joe films. And Jeff Snyder said that Cable walked away because of an argument with D. Bonaventura. He says, I'm not going into the specifics of what I heard, but to suffice it to say, I'm told that some of D. Bonaventura's comments were interpreted as racially tinged and that the old school producer suggested Capel should be more grateful for the opportunity to direct the big budget crossover movie, which is slated to star Chris Hemsworth.
No, you suck it. I'm glad. Hey, if that's the guy they still have working on it, I'm glad they're not making a movie.
Well, I mean, they're gonna make a movie. It's just,
I mean, but that's the dude like that's you don't have to. You can get rid of this dude. Like, I mean, the producer, like, get rid of him. Like, if that already got leaked out, from the sources, I think you could get rid of him and like, yeah, that's not what we're gonna try and do because that's by Paramount.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Sky, they just been either acquired or merging with Skydance. I think it's an easy we've parted ways with him. We're going to put a new team together and get something much more interesting for a crossover that's been built in comic books.
Yes, make it happen. All right. Well, speaking of making things happen, Mark A says, let's just remake everything. I mean, we need a better version of Transformers and G.I. Joe before we remake it.
Remake.
It's that magical time of the week. And, we're about to watch some more Olympians win gold. Jace, who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week?
I got one dang dummy of the week. My dang dummy of the week.
What do you got?
NBC Universal. Because instead of being able to watch on the Family of USA, NBC,
Networks of NBC.
Networks of NBC, is they're fine to tell me they have NBC, USA, and Peacock, and that's the only way I can watch the Olympics and Peacock has most of the random stuff you would see, at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. The equestrian, the cycling, the long marathons that last 10 hours long. That's the only way you can watch those. And frankly, that's the joy of the first week of the Olympics before track and field. It's watching all the stuff that I will never watch. Break dancing. What was it? What do I got? Break dancing, BMX bike, just all the stuff like surfing. I don't see any of that because it's all on Peacock. And I am not paying money to go on Peacock. It's just not, your Peacock is not happening. Even if you have the 2 first NFL games this year, I'm still not paying for Peacock.
I was heated up about that.
Hey, Chase, are you going to pay for Peacock this year?
No.
Okay.
No. All right.
And one other question. Is Juggernaut going to co-star Peacock?
Juggernaut will go for the Peacock.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, my dummy of the week are all these sites who just refuse to care about people maybe having lives and not watching the brand new movie the moment it comes out because they're putting every spoiler imaginable. Let's dissect every aspect of this movie. Gosh, I'm talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, so-and-so talks about their return in Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoiler alert. This is if you haven't seen this movie, but the headline's already ruined it. Let's just have a little bit of patience. Let people watch it. And 2 weeks later, can we just wait a week before we start ruining everything? I was checking out a comment from someone who didn't understand you have to just avoid social media like the plague if you haven't seen the big popular movie. And they said, dang, every cameo in this movie has been spoiled for me now. And it's impossible to avoid it unless you just detach yourself from Chief's Matrix. So, yeah, that's mine. Chief, what's your nominee? Why is it the New York Giants?
It's not the New York Giants this week. I saw something today that was crazy. And I'm almost feeling like it can't be true, but so I heard that China got a gold in the speed skating. So
I mean,
they start off, you know how they start off, they're going. And so everybody's kind of in a pack. And the Chinese lady came from the back. She just took off. Shoo, 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 shoo. And the rest of the pack just watched her take off. And then when she damn near lapped them is when the rest of them took off. So now she's just in the back of the pack now. And they go around there 4 times or whatever, and she wins the gold. Nobody took off when she took off. They all just kind of was like, "Oh, what's she doing?"
I know what you're talking about.
You saw that?
No. In because the way the rink is actually set up, it's just like track and field. It's
right.
The outside is actually longer distance, so they give them a start that gets them, tries to have them all equal at the same time. I know it's not track and field, but I think they do that.
Yeah. So she was in the back chilling, and then she just took off, and everybody was just like, oh, she's going for it, and nobody moved, nobody did nothing, nobody tried to chase after her, and then when she got to the back of the pack, everybody was like, oh, and then next thing I know, they took off. But by that time, she was already for the gold. I'm like, you just watched it, like y'all trained for 4 years to get here, all of y'all, and then the person blows past you, and you're just like, oh, what they doing?
Did they hear it? Was there a gun?
Am I supposed to be skating faster?
Oh shoot, my bad.
And,
am I supposed to skate with speed?
Right, and I was just like, So yeah, I saw that thing. I was just like, that's crazy. So, hey, good night, Daily man.
We're about to head out too.
Yeah, man. It's dinner time over here.
Right. All right. Well, with that said, thank you, Chief and Jace. Appreciate y'all as always. And thank you all in the chat. Ryan Daly, ICT Vinny, David Thanos, Badger Prime, the returning Blake Tarpley, Mark A.
Snake Eyes, James
Snake
Green.
I was making sure I hadn't forgotten anybody. Eric, Instrumental Sanful, HN Brother in the house. Let's see. I said ICT Vinny. Yes, 80s kid from the 90s. Let me see. I think that's everyone. Now Clint Dean, of course. The man himself. And Jamelin Parks. So
Jamelin. Look, me and Jamelin had a good night. He agreed with me. You know what I mean?
I want to see.
I'm gonna go check it out, man. I'm gonna go check it out. I gotta check out a 9 a.m. Viewing.
Right.
Well, actually, there's nobody in there probably for Twister anymore, right?
No, Twister.
It had a pretty solid second weekend.
Okay, so 9 a.m. it is.
Yeah. Hey, Chief, maybe we link up and go see it.
Yes,
all right, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Of course, I'll be back on tomorrow night in between my Olympic marathon watching, not on Peacock. But for now, this episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.